There's two different ways to frost a cake. One is to just plop the icing on and then spread it smooth. And another is to use a cake bag, a frosting tip, which is a big tip. It looks like that. I am going to show you a little bit of how to do both. So first, with the plopping method, you plop it on, preferably more than that, and you just start using your cake spatula at an angle back and forth, spreading it out. Now when you are ready to splotch more on, you don't want to splotch it next to this icing you already have. See how when you pull it back, it pulls up a little bit of the crumbs? You want to go right on the edge and then keep going from there, always pushing it out, never getting too close to pull back because you don't want to get crumbs in your cake, like that one right there. Now I like using a piping tip and a nice spinning rack. It goes much faster that way. So I'm going to start down here and just squeeze slowly and then go all the way around, just covering up, just overlapping a little bit of what we just did. And that's my sides. Now I take my spatula and just slowly go around the sides, holding it as still as I can, getting a nice smooth side finish. Now, no matter how good you are, you're going to get spots like this where your frosting's gotten a little bit big. It's not that big of a deal, you just scrape it off. Anywhere like that you see a crumb coming through, you need to use a toothpick or just edge your spatula and put the crumb off. Now make sure not to put that crumb back in the rest of your frosting. I like to wipe it on paper towel to get it out of the way. Alright, so we want to try to get our sides and our top to meet without getting a lot of crumbs. Like that crumb right there. I'm going to get out right now. So just keep bringing it over to the side. Keep working. Working it until everything is sealed. Once your frosting is sealed on the edges, it's a lot easier to then work it smooth than try to get it all smooth a piece at a time. So now that the cake is completely frosted, now we can work on smoothing it out. Now since I'm not going to be serving this cake like this, but I'm going to be covering it with fondant, I'm actually wanting to get the frosting a little bit thinner. If the frosting is too thick, it'll come gushing out the sides. Also, because I'm going to be frosting this with fondant, because I'm going to be covering it with fondant, I don't really care if a couple crumbs get in here. I'm not going to be quite as careful. But what I do once I get the sides nice and smooth is I like to start at the edges and bring it in and try to get a nice smooth top. Holding that. Notice I never pulled my cake spatula at a flat angle. I'm always holding it at 35 to 45 degree angle depending on which way I'm spinning. So now I have a nice flat top and nice flat sides, and I just keep doing the top and sides and tops and sides and tops and sides until I get a nice smooth corner or edge to the edge of my cake. And I'll see how it's kind of lifting up here. This one I just kind of come back and just try to grab it a little bit and just pull it in to keep those nice smooth edges. And depending on how smooth you want your cake, you can keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. But remember, every time you take your spatula across, you're going to lose a little bit of icing. So it's kind of has a balance of how much icing are you willing to lose and how much do you want your cake smooth. But for a good basic smooth cake, we're done.